I think it's a waste of time and a waste of money to start school, to whether it's a college, a master's degree, a community college, unless you know what you want to do. Hi everyone, it's Laura and I hope you're all doing well. So it's that time again for another Dietitian Q&A, and basically what I do in these videos is I just answer all of the questions that y'all asked me on my previous Dietitian Q&A video. And so if there are any questions that you would like for me to answer, feel free to leave them below and I'll answer them on the next video. So let's get started. Also, you know you're from Alabama when you have a flannel cutoff. Yes. Besides having a high GPA as an undergrad, is there anything other than being involved in clubs and having work experience in different settings that makes you a competitive applicant to get accepted into an internship? So I agree, GPA is extremely important. Also, so is being involved in clubs, so is having work experience. The other thing I would take very seriously is the GRE. And so I would study for it, and if you don't do well, I would take it again because it's definitely something that internships look at. Also, the other thing that I would do is a lot of schools require this. I don't know if all schools do, but I would shadow a dietitian, even if you do it in the summertime. So once a week for 2 hours or, whatever, go and shadow a dietitian. Our profession is super open to having students shadow us. It's literally, we say yes to everybody. So find a local dietitian in your area and ask if you can shadow her, just so you can build that rapport so that she potentially can write you a letter of recommendation and be one of those people that do that for you. I know for me, I shadowed a dietitian for 40 hours. She worked in the hospital and she wrote my she was one of the people that wrote my letters of recommendation. What do you think about working during an internship? The likelihood that you're able to work during an internship is slim to none. So I know 2 people that have worked during an internship. One, she quit a couple months in. She worked on the weekends at a bar, and a couple months into the internship, she was like, it's too much, I can't do it. The other one, she worked on the weekends as well at a restaurant, and she actually the whole way through did work. She worked, I think, one night. I'm not even sure if she worked every week. I didn't know her exact schedule, but she did work throughout it. She still had student loans that she had to take out in order to live, so it's not like it paid for everything. It just helped. How would you be able to afford having an internship out of state if you have no income coming in? How would you afford living costs unless you were to get a part-time job? So this is where student loans come into play. A lot of people, they take out the max amount of student loans in order to live a comfortable life, and then they worry about paying it off once they get a job. My internship did offer a stipend, so I forget how much per month they gave us. I think it was like $1,500 a month. It wasn't enough to live in Chicago. You definitely either had to have another source of income or had to take out student loans. With that being said, I'm a firm believer that you should only take out student loans if you know without a doubt that this is what you want to do. I think it's a waste of time and a waste of money to start school, to whether it's a college, a master's degree, a community college, unless you know what you want to do. It's a complete waste of everything involved. I recommend, like I said before, if you are interested in becoming a dietitian, then shadowing maybe not just one dietitian, but multiple dietitians in multiple different settings before you start accruing a lot of this debt, because dietitians don't make a lot of money. And so if you have $80,000 in student loans and you're only making $50,000 a year, and those student loans are at a 7% interest rate, then it's going to take you a while to pay those off. And so I'd seriously make sure that this is what you want to do before you start accruing all this debt if you're in the position that you're going to have to pull out student loans, which, unless you have a ton of money sitting in the bank or someone paying for your schooling, then you're going to have to take out student loans. I'm a junior trying to get accepted into the nutrition and dietetics program. A GPA of at least 3.0 is required, 2 recommendation letters from the field and an essay explaining why I'm choosing the field. Which recommendation do you think weighs the most? Do you think they take into account the credentials of who's writing your letter of recommendation? I think definitely. I think to have a registered dietitian being one of the people that writes your letters of recommendation would look extraordinary. Anyone in healthcare, that goes back to the importance of shadowing a dietitian. So if I don't know when applications are due, but I strongly consider you going to shadow a dietitian. However, I do think GPA carries the most weight. Where do you see the nutrition and dietetics field going towards? What will be the most valued job, and how much will the top job be paid, granted having a master's degree? So, I don't want to get too political, but I do believe and do hope that our healthcare system at some point starts focusing primarily on prevention instead of treatment. And right now, there are a few medical conditions that are being paid by insurance companies for patients to see dietitians. However, it's not enough. I'm hoping we get to the point to where if a doctor's referral to see a dietitian is enough for insurance to be paid at the minimum. You know, you would think if someone wanted to see a dietitian, then they should be able to see them and insurance pay for it. But unfortunately, that's not the case right now. But I'm hoping that's the point where we get, because as soon as we can start billing for our services, that's where we will make the most money. I'm hoping with our master's degree that we'll be getting closer to 6 figures, but all this is speculation. I don't know, and that's a big hope as well. I'm an international student currently finishing high school, looking to possibly study dietetics in the States. I was wondering if I end up getting accepted, would people even consider me not being a citizen for internships, and would job opportunities be available? The answer is yes. However, I believe there are a lot fewer slots to do your internship as an international student. I don't know a whole lot. I will put a link below that will take you to our national organization's website, and it'll talk more about international students and all that. How much do you feel you learned after you completed the internship? Comparing the internship to your coursework, do you think you learned more with the internship than the coursework once you're in practice? So I went to undergrad at Auburn University in Alabama, and when I left, I definitely felt prepared for the internship in comparison to my other internship people. Like I felt like I didn't know a lot more than other people, but I felt like I didn't know a lot less than other people. I felt like I kind of landed in the middle. But definitely after my internship, I felt prepared to be a dietitian. I also feel like I went to a really good internship program. The last month of the internship, you're basically on your own. You go see the patients, you chart on them, and then at the end of the day, the dietitian or your preceptor he does look at all your notes and go over them with you. But for the full 8-9 hours, however long you're there, you are that dietitian, and so you do start to feel like you have a handle on it. However, that first year of being a dietitian is a big learning curve. I think that's the case with a lot of jobs. But I would say I learned a lot in my internship, and then second, I learned a lot my first year of working as a dietitian. When will the master's program requirement go into effect? So it already has for the people who have started their path to become a dietitian. It technically goes into effect for the class that graduates 2024. So I hope this video helped y'all out. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them below. Like I said before, I will answer your questions in the following video. So I hope y'all are doing well, and I'll see you soon. Bye.